I always start on the left-hand side. I usually start up at their neck, and I come down the vertebrae just to try to get an idea. You know, we have plenty of horses that have arthritic issues and problems in their vertebrae that just pressing them doesn't necessarily incite any problems. But occasionally you will find a horse that it really does, and especially when you start going and bending and flexing the head, you'll get them to do a fair bit. So I just kind of come along here. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start up here at the withers, and I work my way down the scapula. And again, if there's anything I can think of anatomically, I want to touch it, okay? I want to try to see if there's any swelling to it, or if they don't like me touching it. I usually come down to the shoulder, and what I didn't go over were the joints, and we've done it before, but as far as joints, we're talking about the shoulder joint, the elbow joint. There's 3 different joints of the carpus. It's not a simple one, okay? Our fetlock joint, pastern joint, and the coffin joint you can't see because of the grass here. Coffin joint's actually within the hoof wall. Okay, you actually really can't get to the coffin joint. The only place you can really get to the coffin joint with a needle is right through the coronary band in the front here. Some horses find that themselves and they like to cut themselves on it, but it is kind of protected nicely from that standpoint. And then the only other one that's in there is a navicular bone, and that becomes a big problem. And it's from a traumatic standpoint, especially a horse that steps on a nail and drives things up through their frog. So anyway, I'm going to come down and come over the shoulder. I usually give a little rap on the shoulder just to see if it does anything. Your biceps muscle runs along here. We have had some horses that have bicipital bursitis. Okay, there's a bursa right here in the biceps. I've had some horses that have taken a kick from another horse, fracture off either a portion of the humerus and even the scapula, things like that. And then I'm going to come down. I'm going to come back to the elbow, feel along here. And then come down, and then obviously, just like you see most of us do, we're going to try to feel every tendon, every ligament, every bone, lumps, bumps, swellings, heat. I think sometimes heat is a difficult one to tell because I think it changes from hour to hour and day to day. But if it's an excessive heat, fine. Pulses to an area. And then obviously, now I've done everything and I haven't even picked up the leg, because then that's the next thing, is go and pick up the leg, and I want to basically flex and extend every area that I can possibly think of. First thing I'll do is I come down to the hoof. When I'm flexing here, I'm flexing the fetlock as well as the pastern joint, to some degree the coffin joint. Then I'm coming up the leg and feeling for every tendon and ligament I can think of. I also have an opportunity to feel for splints in this area, the splint bones and those little bones along here. They're vestigial bones. They're in evolution of the horse. At one point they were standing on 3 digits. They've evolved out of that, and what's left are these 2 little bones called splints, which are another annoyance that we have. They seem to have no functional purpose that we know of anymore, but it also seems to be an area that horses that are, usually it's your horse that's going the best, will pop a splint from that area, and usually you wind up having to come out of work for a short period of time. You don't see, in mostly dressage, this area is probably the most pressing area from the standpoint of injuries that we see. Between our suspensory ligament, our check ligaments, probably some of the ligaments of our pastern. Carpal issues, we don't see much in this, short of a trauma, just don't see much. Different in the Western pleasure horses of cutting. Certainly different in race horses. Race horses, we see a lot of arthritis in the fetlock and the carpus. Okay? So in some cases, some of those previous race horses, you may find some of these things, but just occupation-wise of dressage, you don't necessarily see that. Okay? Next thing I'll do, and sometimes I do it more often than others, is I'll bring the leg forward, and in bringing the leg forward, if you notice, I am flexing the elbow and extending, sorry, don't stand on me, and extending the shoulder joint, okay? And I can go in the reverse direction with that, where I'm extending the elbow and flexing the shoulder joint, okay? And most horses really shouldn't mind you doing this, okay? I mean, obviously they don't love it. There's a lot of arthritis and issues that go along with the vertebrae of the back, and we haven't even scratched the surface. When I put the skeleton together up at the school, you will see there are different vertebrae that are actually touching, that are remodeled and things. And I know in the anatomy books they say that's normal. I can't believe that if a bone has a big jagged area on it, that's normal. They're not designed to be big and jagged like that. It's usually a change on it. So I think there's a lot here. So one of the things that I go on my lameness exam is I come down along their back. Now, this is a common thing I do up at our school, and most horses that are back sore usually are not, it's not good, with good riders, it's not the primary problem. backs are not the primary problem. Usually it's secondary to a lameness. You think about if you're limping for an extended period of time, you alter the way you go, and then you feel it later on in other areas. Okay? And that's what I want to translate in my brain to how it is in the horse. Having said that, we are learning more that there are some primary things that occur in the back. Certainly, arthritis of the cervical vertebrae. Have to assume we have arthritis of lumbar and sacral, especially when you think about the weight that we put here, okay, and what we do from that standpoint. But it's just not a place we can diagnose and or treat. That's the problem.